Okay, this is setup number 3 or video number 3 or whatever. As you see, I've got Saturn in there and Venus and Mars and Earth. I guess that's the alignment we're looking at. But right now, Earth is the solid ball. It's a solid ball bearing on the end of this hot lead on my positive. Mars is a hollow ball. And Venus is a hollow ball, and then Saturn's hollow, but with the size of all that steel, it's quite a bit heavier than any of those three, probably all three of them put together. So like I said, this is out of proportion, weight-wise, distance-wise, distribution-wise, everything. Everything's the same, transformer, rectifier. What I want to show you now is what this does in this configuration with the solid ball out here is Earth, the two hollow ones in the middle, and then the big one as Saturn. I'm going to put the positive to the solid one out here. The negative is on Saturn. I've tried swapping these, putting the positive on the Saturn big ball and the negative on the solid little ball. It doesn't make any difference. This plays out the same. But what I will change in the next video is moving the solid ball into these positions or another solid ball. I don't have 3 right now. I've got 2 solid ones and 2 hollow ones. And I won't get all 4 together. I probably won't even get any action. But I'll show you what this does, and we'll move on and do that. Okay, like I said, solid balls, I guess Earth, Mars, Venus, Saturn, and this hollow, solid, like I explained. So I'm going to turn the power on now. And you won't see nothing happening, because if I get them too close, it just arcs. And they will do like the 2 did earlier, or the 3. But if I get them going, watch what happens. It'll get a magnetic field going, and it'll just keep bouncing like that. There's no wind. There's nothing moving anything. I'm not touching anything. The ground's not moving. The table's not moving. And they just seem to start moving on their own. They'll get a electromagnetic field between them, but they seem to balance out unless I really push them together. And I may have them just a tad bit separated for what I was wanting to show. But they do get a magnetic field going between them, and there'll be constant motion. So what I think happened back in the day was when Venus commented around us, there they go. It'll keep doing that. You'll hear an electric arc between the pings of the balls. And I didn't touch anything. They just, if they get in a certain position, they'll do that, especially if they're moving some. Like I said, I may have them just a tad bit separated. But there's an electromagnetic field there just causing them to do these. It'll do that kind of thing. It's not like the things on your desk where you put all the balls, and I forget what they call those. You snap the balls and it knocks 5 or 6 balls. The end ones always bounce back and forth. This has more of an electromagnetic field going to it. And I've got it separated just a tad bit too much, apparently. Like I said, I think when Venus came around as a comet, she hammered us. That's when you get all of the huge plasma Birkeland currents just cutting the Earth up, ripping Venus apart. Everything happened. You know, pieces of Venus are coming down on Earth, pieces of Earth are ripped up in the air, vice versa. That's what tore up everything. And then when Mars got in the middle between us and Venus, I think that's when everything balanced out to a more, electromagnetic equilibrium. And that's when they saw all the signs in the sky that they really wrote down, oh, things are over, Everything's calmed down. We're no longer getting fired. Venus is not trying to kill us anymore because Mars, the warrior, stepped in between. But the electromagnetic fields you're seeing here, I'm not doing that. It just does it. I'm gonna have to get it going a little bit, and but it'll pick up again here in a second. It did well ago. I may have Mars a little bit too close to Earth. I'm not sure. I get them just right, at the right distance, they just really ping back and forth. And I don't have to do anything. Like clackety clackers I had back in the 70s when I was a kid. There they go. I got my distance about right. This is a long one, but I want you to see this. I'm not touching anything. There's no air. If you notice, this one's not hardly moving. That one's swinging back and forth towards us. And those two are just, the electromagnetic field has got a rhythm to it. It's in phase with itself. And there's a click between the smacks of the balls if you listen. There's an electric click. And I can push it over and do that. Now watch what happens. I've done the right distance now. And that would have been what caused a lot of the things they saw in the sky. Then it eventually got to this. And remember, these things are all rotating. We're moving through space. And they're eventually going to get different rotations around Saturn. Saturn's going to lose its pull on them. They're going to move towards the sun, separate, and then move towards the sun. But there we go back to the clacky clackers again. It's almost like a time set of points, very slow. Anyway, I know this is a long one, but it'll keep doing that. I'm not touching anything. There's no wind, no anything. Now watch. Let me get him in a good swing. Now my transformer's getting a little warm, but you saw that. The electromagnetic field just keeps them moving, like that. Clacking back and forth. I'm not touching anything, no one's touching anything. So I want to show you that. I think that's when everything lined up. They get all the signs in the sky, the bull and all that. It calmed down and the worst of it was over. It's when Venus came in by herself to the Earth is when you saw the massive plasma, what you saw Michael with the geologist, that he showed on the Earth how everything looked to be ripped up by plasma. Anyway, I think it was Venus and Earth, and somehow Mars got in the middle, stabilized it, and that's what David showed, the whole thing, on Symbols of an Alien Sky. So anyway, I'm just showing these little demonstrations of electricity to see if I can kind of back up what they're saying. Laters. And by the way, I use this purple or pink ink pen as my stick because apparently everybody thinks that the strong force, magnetism, electricity, energy comes from purple unicorns or something. Nobody can explain it. And my theory says it's a static charge. It feeds electron functions to atoms to hold themselves together electrostatically. You pile atoms up together, you get gravity. If you force gravity to go through something in one direction, you get natural magnetism. And anytime you surpass natural magnetism as the speed and power going through something, you get energy. That's why the purple unicorn. Thanks.